Morning, guys. Oh my goodness. Sorry about a late start to the stream and everything. Also for the weird content. Um, Tarek is a little bit busy this morning. He's got life stuff going on. I think it's some of it's the new job. I don't know if he mentioned it to you guys during our last survival stream or if people were there, but he's got a new job as a beekeeper. Of all things in New York City. So that's keeping him pretty busy. Um, so we're just gonna do a little bit of Worldpainter today. I thought I'd try something a little bit new, a little bit different. Also because, to be honest, like this Worldpainter stuff that I'm working on needs to get done sooner rather than later. So doing it on stream gives me an excuse to get it out of the way. It's a multifaceted argument there. Hey, what's up, Ray Bob? Dolphin Boy? I like it. Glad to have some people to hang out with and everything. Let me know if the music is at okay level. I have no idea. I can't hear it myself, so But anyway, we'll hop in. We'll do some Worldpainter and stuff, and then depending on how things go, maybe we'll try and do some. I don't know. We'll try to do some other stuff. Who knows? Who really knows? Alright, let's turn on the stream thing. I actually have like a whole thing set up for Worldpainter. So, this is currently what we're working on. It's a little bit different than normal Minecraft stuff. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can see all of it. So this is the continent I'm working on, and unfortunately it is so large that it doesn't... Oh, okay, let me turn up the music a little bit then. Let's see if that's a little bit better. Maybe that's a little bit too loud. I honestly can't tell. But yeah, this continent is so large that it doesn't fit. Like, Worldpainter doesn't allow me to zoom out enough to see the whole thing all at once. So, it's pretty big. For reference, the entire city of Illias that we've been building on the creative server is the size of this white square, and that includes like all the surrounding mountains and stuff. It's kind of absurd. So this place is real big. But yeah, I'd like to get it set up with some I don't know, I've got some stuff I need to sort out, like in the big picture, small picture kind of stuff. So what I've been working on recently has been like kind of terraforming the coastline a little bit. Yeah, it is like, so this map it's not complete. You can see I've got this kind of, this little rough edge right here. That's like the edge of the official map. Everything else is just ocean. But it's about 50,000 blocks across and about 50,000 blocks tall. Give or take, right? We're missing a couple of corners and stuff. Just trying to reduce the file size in any way I could. We didn't need the ocean. You can see we've got an island here that is not finished. Gonna have to work on that. You can see this one hasn't been properly terraformed yet. It's got random sand and random grass, so we'll have to fix that. But yeah, I thought I'd walk people through kind of, oh, I forgot about this area up here too. We gotta fix that. I thought we'd walk through kind of just my process for how we're dealing with this stuff. I thought it was kind of interesting. Also, maybe we'll take a look. Let's see if we can, let's see. I wonder if I can do this. So, I'm pretty sure that I can, I know that I can export like little chunks of this world. And we can look at them in game. I'm just wondering if I can do that on stream. That's a good question. Let's see if I can figure that out. So if we do stream and we do game capture, let's see if it'll find Minecraft. Looking for game to capture. Oh, nice. It does. It finds it. That's pretty simple. All right, see, we got a lot of single player worlds right now. But here's the most recent one. So let's go back to Worldpainter for a second. So the map we're taking a look at is this little section down here. You can see I've actually raised up some cliffs, because most of this, if we were to look at it, this is, you can see down here in the bottom corner down here. I don't know if you can see my mouse either. I have no idea. But down there in the bottom left, it says height 64 of 255. So the height level okay, can't see the mouse. That's no worries. The mouse is really small. I wonder if I choose a tool, will it make things like, can I have like a, oh, it looks like you can see this. So down in this corner down here, you can see something that says 64 of 255. So that means that the height level of this ground is just 64. It's all flat. 64 is, I mean, the ocean is 62, water level is 62. So it's just, it's real short. Nothing going on. We've got some cliffs here, though, that I built up to 75. And so that's, I just kind of did this a proof of concept just to kind of get an idea of what this program is capable of. And then that's what we'll take a look at in Minecraft and everything. It's pretty cool that I can just, so I'm able to go here and say export as Minecraft map. And then I don't have to export the entire thing. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I can actually just go down here, if I can find it. Where are we working? I have no idea where we are. Oh, we're way too far this way. There we go. No, that's not it either. Alright. Well, there was a section of this map that I can't even find it anymore. There was a section of this map I was working on. And it turns out that if I ever find it... Oh, here it is. You can see we could just select a few tiles. I don't even need these tiles, to be honest. Like, well, we'll keep those. Yeah, so, this is like 81 tiles of the entire map. Which is much easier for my computer to render and everything. But I've already rendered out this area, so we can take a look at it. Let's go back to the regular stream. We'll go here. We'll open up the beach map. But yeah, this is really cool. I just think it's neat that we can see this. Yeah, so here it is. So this is all generated in Worldpainter. So none of this is default Minecraft generation. This is a world. This world file is a portion of a flat world that was created completely in Worldpainter. And I don't know. I think that's so cool. So as you can see, things aren't perfect. There's definitely stuff that we need to clean up by hand. But that's, I think that's part of the fun, right? I still want to do a lot of this stuff in game versus not in person, or not in Worldpainter and everything. So like some of this dirt, I don't know how I feel about the dirt in there. We got some weird stuff like this. I think some of the weird stuff is good though. It kind of adds to the whole thing. But yeah, so we've got like this little island. And then if we come over here, you can see we've got sand layers. So some of this is like weird, right? It's something we can work with. If we go underwater, we can see the sand layers. They should continue for a while, and then there should be like a random... Yeah, there's the edge of the world. But theoretically, the sand layers should be pretty smooth all the way throughout the entire ocean, as long as I load the entire ocean, right? But yeah, we got some cliffs, and all of this was built using brushes and Worldpainter. Change the time and everything. You can see it a little better. I think it looks really good though. All things considered, this is like my first time really doing a whole lot of stuff with Worldpainter. There's definitely things I can improve on. Like these are okay. They're all right. I'm not super fond of them. Some of this is a little bit weird shaped. Some of it's kind of experimental. We got like some weird weirdness going on in the corner there. Got some little sea stacks. I think this one came out okay. Those ones are a little bit funny, but yeah, I think it's I don't know, it's a very powerful tool. And I think that if I learn how to use it well, I think that this you know, it's gonna be awesome, right? Got some more beach area, maybe this is like a kind of a tide pool or a lagoon kind of deal. More of these little sea stacks. I rather like this one. I like that little channel. It's something we need to smooth out. Big island, right? I mean, just, you know, looking at it, right? Like this is a good sized island. It's hard to tell because we're in spectator mode, but like if we go into creative and we drop down and stand on this thing, like this is a big island. Like it's difficult. It's legitimately difficult to see end to end on this thing. You know, it's a good sized place. There's sheep on it too. It's Sheep Island. Look at the sheep. Yeah, you know, I mean, this is, you know, like, right, this is 81 tiles out of I don't know how many thousands. So, you know, this could be a pretty cool and powerful tool. So obviously I don't want to make the entire world with Worldpainter. There's definitely a lot of it that I want to do in game, all that stuff. But it's you know, it's definitely something to get us started, right? To lay out the basic levels of this stuff, so that we don't have to build all the beaches and the cliffs and stuff by hand. That we can at least have some of it, you know, pre-generated, and then just refine the little details, right? Go through and, you know, like I don't like this block, let me get rid of that block, right? Stuff like that. But I think it is a good it's a good starting point. That's really what matters to me. So this is kind of the big project. You know, we started with a city, and the way it's going, it's turning into a country. So, you know, we're gonna finish up the city. That's the plan. Release a world file. People can explore the city and everything. I think that'll be a lot of fun. But after that, you know, I mean, this is my big plan. Is just to continue working on this kind of stuff and turn it into a whole country. I think it'll be a lot of fun. You know, a lot of this is somewhat new territory. It's something new that I haven't really done a whole lot of before. Worldpainter's fairly new to me, but I think it'll be pretty cool. You know, I mean, this is, I don't know, this is such a cool tool, and it's just a lot of really neat stuff. You know, I mean, I've always been really adamant about being able to control all the different parts of my world, being able to understand how it all fits together, and doing it in a meaningful way, right? So you can see, you know, I mean, you would not believe the rabbit holes I've gone down in the last couple of weeks in regards to like natural coastal generations, right? Like, what do coastlines look like and why do they look that way? You know, and just understanding how cliffs form, how beaches form. It's all very, very interesting. And it results in something beautiful, you know? You can see the hard line where our little selection ends. But, you know, I mean, this is 81 out of thousands, right? This is an enormous amount of space. You know, I mean, this is easily close to the size of the city, probably. So, you know, it's, I don't know. There's a lot of room for a lot of cool things to happen here. And we'll have to see how things go. You know, well, it's gonna take a while. It's definitely gonna be a longer process, but anyway, enough of my ranting about all that stuff. Let's hop in and do a little more world paintery kinds of things. One more thing I wanted to check while we were in here. We do have some weird, like this. I don't know what's going on here. I gotta fix some of that stuff. Or like this, I'm pretty sure this is, yeah, that's a little not so great. But it's something that can be fixed. We'll go ahead and do that. We've got some weird stuff happening, but overall it looks really nice. All right, cool. So let's hop in and I'll show you how some of the Worldpainter stuff works, because I'm actually very excited about that. we're gonna close this out for the time being, and then we will switch back to our Worldpainter screen. So the way this works, it's kind of like they call it Worldpainter. It's very similar in a lot of ways to like Microsoft Paint, right? You've got your different kinds of tools. You've got some colors and stuff. In this case, colors are like biomes and terrain and stuff like that. And then over here you have your brush palettes. You know, so for instance, we've got some, they call this a spike circle. They all have little names. And they're different strengths and different intensities. You got some noise and some cracks and things like that. And then what I've done, I've gone online and downloaded a whole bunch of extra brushes made by other people. Some of them have some pretty interesting shapes. Like if we look at this one, we'll here, we'll make it a little bit big. I don't know how well we can see that. Let's see if we can go into like a 3D view. Can you guys see that? You cannot. That only shows up on my screen. Let's see if I can find a way to share that. Let's give me 1 second. What if we just... It doesn't even show up as a... Alright, I don't know if I can show you this other screen. But it's like a 3D view of what's going on. I don't know, I'll have to figure that out later. I'm sure there's a way, but now it is not letting me do Worldpainter things. Why is that? May have broken something. Why is it giving me... Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. Let's put this on here. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I don't know what it was doing. But anyway, it is sort of a... It's an interesting interface. I'm still getting used to it. But we can zoom way in, and these little lines they're kind of a height map. So they show us how tall the different parts of the terrain are. So like this area down here is very low, and it slopes upwards. You can see it slopes upwards in a few different ways, and then we get to like this beach area. Anything that's not blue is above the water line. So the water line, is default Minecraft 62. So this beach right here is probably at 62. This one's at 63. And then up here, this top part is 64. So what we can do is we can actually alter the terrain a little bit. Right now we have a tool that's a raise or lower tool. So all it does is it takes this weird pattern we have on our brush, and it'll raise the terrain in that kind of pattern. We can see that we can rotate the tool around. We can make it bigger or smaller. We can make it big, we can make it small, and as we click, it just changes the terrain a little bit. You can see we're actually getting above the default level of 64 and everything. So that's cool. We can also have some controls down here on the bottom right that allow us to say, hey, hold on a second, I don't want to go any lower than a certain value, or I don't want to go any higher. So in this case, let's say at or above 62. And if we do that, it means that we can only affect things. So if we try and do it here, we can go up and we can go down. But you notice that once we go down, we cannot go below this level of 62. So that's cool because it lets us, flatten things out and everything. It gives us a lot of control over how we edit and what we edit. Let's go find some area of the coastline that actually needs some work. Let's see. Let's do this little island because I think this island. Oh no, that one's already got some noise. Let's zoom out and go find. There's a big island that I wanted to terraform today. Not terraform with mountains and stuff, but I just wanted to get the edges of it painted in nice colors. Let's also turn off annotations because those are a little bit annoying. All right. So this island, you can see we got some straight lines. And that's just because I drew out the basic shape of the island, and then I changed the coastline, right, by raising and lowering the terrain. Hey, what's up, Gumpy? How's it going? We're just doing a little bit of Worldpainter, nothing too crazy. So let's go ahead and paint this a little bit. It's not going to be terribly interesting, I don't think. So we're just going to use a regular circle brush. We're going to turn the intensity up to 100%. We are going to go, let's see. So the first thing I want to do is I want to do the sand layer. Sand layer is going to be everything below, at or below 63. And as we do this, it is going to, oops. That is not right. We are not doing raising and lowering. We are doing penciling. And then we are doing terrain. No, sorry, custom terrain. And I've got my own special sand layer going on. Also, I don't know why annotations are on again. Some of this is a little janky. Doesn't work exactly the way I'd like it to all the time. There we go. It's a little bit slow too, because I've got such a huge, massive world file. Let me see. Yeah, we can just go around and click. This is going to just change anything that's at or below 63 height level to sand. To a mixture of, I think it's a mixture of sand and smooth sandstone, and maybe I think there's some birch in there or something like that. We can go through and click. This is just going to change, just fix our coastline a little bit so that we have these nice beaches. Eventually, a lot of these beaches are going to go away. Just because, you know, like, a lot of this coastline is going to end up being a little more rocky as we get some of the mountains in there. But for right now, you know, it can remain beaches, white sand and all that. It's vacation time. Let's see here. I think that's all the beaches. All right, cool. And then the other thing we can do is we can fill in everything above, at or below, or at or above 64. So that's everything that's not sand currently, right? And we're just gonna fill that with just regular grass. Also, auto-saving happens from time to time. It's auto-saving right now. You can't see the little dialog box, but it takes forever because this map is enormous. Hey, what's up, Clear? How's it going? Just doing some Worldpainter. Maybe not the most interesting, but I was gonna something needs to get taken care of, and Tark is too busy for survival this morning, so let's give it a second to autosave. I am appreciative of the autosave service, to be honest. Like, it's very useful. Worldpainter is not an efficient program. It eats up a lot of my my computer's memory and stuff like that, and it does on occasion crash because even though I have a fancy computer, oh my goodness, it cannot always handle what is going on with this program, which is a shame, because it's a good program. It's just I don't know, inefficiently put together. And for some reason we are back on sand. We need to select grass. Cool. So this will fill in everything that's not sand, basically. And then from here, normally what we could do would be to go in and add some like rock layers for the cliffs and everything. Unfortunately, we don't have any cliffs. Oh, catch you later, Ruben. Good seeing you. So, you know, doesn't do us much good to add cliff layer there. But usually I do that by, according to, what's the word for it? Angle. The angle of the blocks and everything. You can actually designate, you could say, hey, everything that's above 43 degrees, we can make that into a particular type of material, which I think is, like, I don't know, that's such a cool thing, because, like, it's a block game, right? So, I mean, and I'm not entirely sure how the program even understands, like, what is angle in a game that's made out of cubes, you know? No idea, but it works, so I'm not going to question it. That's what we did for the cliffs and everything. You can see this island's looking a lot better. It's a weird shaped island, I'll be honest. A lot of my coastlines are ending up rough. I think some of the noise is okay. But like this island right here is like, it's weird shaped. Some of it's just because, you know, even though this map is massive, the scale is not comparable to that of, you know, like the real world, right? So this is a 50,000 block wide map. If you take a standard Minecraft block to be about a meter, right? So about close to about 3 feet for the non-metric people in the party. That means that this whole map is about 28 miles. Which it's supposed to be a country, right? So 28 miles is not a lot, but so, you know, we have to take some liberties with the shape and everything, just to make sure that it looks good from a player perspective, because the players are never going to see things top down like this. Not really. The render distance isn't large enough. Mostly what you'd see would be, you know, ground level stuff. So as long as it looks good from ground level, we're okay. Oh, what is your go-to Disney song? Honestly, like, I'm a big fan of, like, I think we talked about this before too. I'm a big fan of, like, Tangled. So like, When Will My Life Begin? That's a jam. Trying to think of what else. I'm a big fan of some of the songs from Mulan too. Like True to Your Heart, and what are some other good ones? Oh, Be a Man. That's a good one. Let's see. So let's go at or above 40. So right now, I've got this kind of thing going on with my oceans. Tangled is amazing. Definitely one of my favorite Disney movies. So it's really hard to tell because this is really chaotic. But we've got 3 things going on here. So we have dry land, right, and the coastline. And if we zoom on that, you can see that the slope is fairly... oh, Make a Man Out of You, that's the one. Yep. So you can see here, these lines are very close together. That means that this is a steep incline. So this drops off pretty quickly into the ocean, which makes sense. You know, I mean, it goes from 64 to 40, so about, you know, 20 blocks, give or take. And even though this drop off looks pretty steep, like, look at how small, like, you know, individual Minecraft blocks are like a pixel on here, right? So this drop off, even though it looks like it's fairly steep, is really like, you know, like, I don't know, like 50, 60 blocks. Not really that steep if you look at it in game. But after that, we have what kind of amounts to like a continental shelf. So we come out from the coastline and it stays fairly flat, somewhere around 30, 40, for quite a while. So for, you know, a couple hundred blocks out. And then we get to this area right here, which is really, it's hard to see. But this is actually another big drop off from the continental shelf to like the abyssal plains and stuff. So this is where things drop off from 40 or so down to, and we're auto-saving again. But it drops off down to like, I think, like 10 or something like that, like really low. So it drops off another 30 blocks. And it's a slightly more gradual transition, but it's a lot messier. There's a lot of little, you can see there's lots of little blobs and bits and bobs. So that's currently what I'm working with right now, is I'm trying to get these ocean seafloor to look at least a little bit natural-ish. I have this crazy idea in my brain that maybe one day we'll I don't know, we'll build like an Atlantis type deal or something down here. Thought that would be kind of fun. Maybe a few little underwater cities and stuff. I don't know. Working on that tide pool in the creative community server has got me thinking about underwater stuff. It'd be fun. But it's gonna take you know, I'd like the terrain to look at least a little bit natural out here. So, you know, this is all done. You can see here, this is where it drops off. So this is where it goes abruptly from height 40 down to height 10. So this is kind of where we're expanding this section of it and everything. So currently we've got a lot of the coastline stuff done, but this is very flat. So we'll need to noise that up a little bit. But yeah, we've got the coastline drop off. And what I need to do now is just kind of oh man, just close this gap a little bit, and it's a slow process. So we're gonna take this brush that we have, we're gonna make it as big as we possibly can. We're gonna say at or above 40 so that we're not lowering anything that's already down here at the bottom. And then we really just want to do it on, oops, that's except on this one, only on water, just so we don't mess up our land. We don't need an at or below. We don't need terrain. We do need, I think this should be good. And so this is, need to zoom in because it's very slow otherwise. But we just need to push this back a little bit. So we're trying to, you know, kind of get it to go, right? You can see we've got some islands and stuff, and I'd like to take this just kind of around the edge of these islands, because I don't feel like it needs to be much further in than that. So we're just going to push this back. We're going to keep the bottom of it at 40. Try and vary the shape of this a little bit. Just keep it interesting, right? Nothing too crazy. But yeah, underwater city, it's going to be fun. I'm very excited about that. You know, Bart got me thinking about it a while ago. She was talking about like a coral city. I was like, man, that definitely sounds like the coolest thing I've ever heard of. So, all right, cool. We're gonna do the same thing on the other end of this. What is? We have like a little tiny island here. Let's see. Let's undo that. Kind of there we go. Yeah, every once in a while I miss like a speck. Not sure what's going on there. Okay, here's the edge of our island. We actually haven't, it looks like we haven't done the edge of this island, so let's do that. So we'll say only on water. And we're just gonna kind of noise this up a little bit. You can see when I'm doing this, it's lowering the terrain. Oh, and we want to turn the intensity down. But it's not affecting the land, which is good because I like the I don't know. I don't like messing too much with the edge of the. I like the coastline, right? I like that it's rough and it's got little things that stick out. Oh, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go close my window because someone is weed whacking outside my house. Oh man. Oh, catch you later, Clear. Good seeing ya. Yeah, no, I swear, every single house in this neighborhood has like gardeners, and they all come on different days of the week. It's always super loud here. First world problems, am I right? Yeah, let's see if we can just we're gonna dirty up the coastline a little bit. Just bring it down a bit, and then we can take this is a smoothing brush, and what this is gonna do is right now, because we're not doing it on land, the edge of this island is just a straight vertical drop off. We don't like that. So we're gonna use a smooth brush, and what it's gonna do, if we can zoom in here, it's gonna take this steep vertical drop off, and it's actually going to bring everything out a little bit, which is nice. Gives us a much more reasonable slope down into the ocean and everything. It's also going to clean up the coastline just a little bit. Just fix a few of those, you know, the really, really rough stuff. Close up a few of those weird little pools and stuff. If there's ones that we like, we can add them back later. But I think this is a good step for just for keeping everything a little bit cleaner and a little bit smoother. Good transitions and all that. Let's see. Yeah, this has been my life for the last month or so. You know, I've done this on roughly like most of the continent right now. It's just I've been, you know, first of all drawing in the edges and everything, and then just building the edge of this giant land mass. It's fun. I enjoy it, but it's, oh man, it's a lot of work sometimes. So we just want to think a little bit about contours. So like we've got this big bay. So obviously I'd like the middle of this bay to be, you know, down close to the bottom. So this is 40. It's pretty deep. And then we want like a deep channel that comes through here in the middle, right? I think that makes sense. And then we want these other parts to be low enough that they're not right at, you know, not right at the ground level or anything, but not so low that it's too much of an issue. And then we have to think about how does this, you know, we've got this really deep channel, how does this connect to everything else again? So I'm thinking it comes up through here, kind of like this, kind of parallel to this coastline, and then it meets up here. I think that's a good spot. Well, you just use the brush just to define this shape a little bit better. Roughen up this, drop it down just by a few blocks. And I think we'll also extend it this way and have this area over here be kind of a little bit lower. So we'll drop down a lot of this, I think, but leave enough that we can have a semi-shallow slope over there by the water, because this area is protected by this kind of arm. The ocean currents in this area flow west to east, so this area would actually be fairly protected from the movement of the ocean, right? The waves would kind of come in and they'd break against the hard edge of this little peninsula here. So what it means is the outer edge of that, the side on the west side of that peninsula, is probably going to be pretty steep cliff faces, because it's constantly getting pounded by the ocean waves and everything like that. But the inside of this is going to be relatively smooth and sandy, kind of a nice protected area. You know, nice beaches and stuff like that. There's a weird amount of thought that goes into all this. I don't know how much of it is really necessary, but I enjoy it on a lot of levels, so I guess that's good, right? Oh god, I'm insane. I know it. So it's just a matter of time before they lock me up. But hey, at least you get some interesting stream content out of it until they come by, the men in the white coats, right? Let's get some liquid, because it's early in the morning. I need my coffee. Okay. Feeling a little better. Let's lower some more of this down. I feel like the lo-fi helps a lot too. I feel like if it was just me, it wouldn't be quite as interesting. I don't know. It's weird how few videos there are on YouTube about Worldpainter and how Worldpainter works. I'm not sure if it's just because it's an obscure software or because no one wants to watch videos about Worldpainter. That's something I've been thinking about. I'm thinking, you know, originally I was going to place all the trees by hand. You know, I wasn't going to like make, you know, like all entirely custom trees. I at one point I did consider that. But there was a point in time when I was thinking like, man, maybe I'll just go in and we'll place the trees by hand, you know, cut and paste with World Edit. But it seems likely, given the scale of this, that at least some of the bigger forests I will populate in Worldpainter. Which does mean at some point we're gonna need to build like at least 50, 60 trees, different unique ones that I can pick up with brushes, or not with brushes, but pick up with the software and everything, and then I can put there's a custom plant layer here somewhere. So I can do deciduous pine jungle, and I can add my own custom trees with schematics and stuff like that. So that's something that we will do at some point. All right, let's smooth the rest of this out before I forget. What happened there? Oh. What? Oh, I just turned off my my terrain view. That scared me for a second. I was like, where did it all go? Okay, smooth. Why does it keep turning off my terrain? It's annoying. Guess I just have to like deselect that dialog box. Like I said, Worldpainter is sort of a somewhat janky software. Not in a not in a bad way. I'm fairly certain it's like independently made and everything. I mean, it's not like official or anything like that. It's just some dude who has released the software for free. So I really can't complain. It's a fantastic software for what it is, but it does have its share of quirks. But I love it. It's really, I feel like it's one of the only softwares for doing what it does. You know, I can't think of anything else. I know back in the day there was like MC Edit and stuff. But to be honest, these days, I don't know if there's any utility programs that do like what Worldpainter does for a reasonable cost. Because I know there are a few out there that'll do it for several $100s, but I just ain't about that. I don't have that kind of money laying around. So we're also going to fix a few other little things as we see them. It's like right here, got a really straight edge part, and that's partially because that's just a blind edge that was there when I built the map and everything. So we're just going to extend that out a little bit, give it a little bit of beach, just to get rid of that really weird flat edge. We'll come through and bring some of this out a little bit. And again, you know, some of these look pretty steep. I think for the most part, they're not as steep as they look. Some of them are as steep as they look, but mostly not so much. We can give these a nice edge. Let's see here. Kind of smooth out some of this. So you can see these weird straight lines. That used to be the edge of this continent before I, you know, gave it like a nice noisy edge. Fractal coastlines. I wrote a paper in school about the fractal nature of coastlines. Very interesting stuff. Fractals in general are super cool. Don't get me started on the math stuff. I'll talk about it for hours. But it is kind of cool. Fractal geometry shows up a lot in the natural world. Basically, the idea behind a fractal is it's a level of complexity that as you zoom in, it continues to be complex, right? So if we zoom like way out, we can see, oh, look, this is pretty, you know, this is a rough edge. And then if we zoom in, we can say, oh, wait, that rough edge, that part of the rough edge that looked rather smooth, right? This part right here looks a little bit smooth. If we zoom in, it's got there's rough edges on the rough edges. And then those rough edges have rough edges, and so on and so forth forever. Hey, what's up, Dragon? How's it going? Welcome. We're just doing a little bit of Worldpainter. No survival today. Just chilling a little bit. Listening to some lo-fi right now. I'm waiting for Worldpainter to autosave. Anyone watching who isn't familiar with what Worldpainter is, it's a Minecraft world editing tool that allows me to build maps from scratch and to edit existing maps and everything, edit the terrain and all that outside of Minecraft itself. So this is an entirely separate program. But what I can do is I can take these maps and turn them into Minecraft maps and then put them in the game and play on them, which is super cool. I can even take portions of it. So it's very helpful. It lets me do a lot of things that I couldn't do otherwise. We haven't done much with that yet, so this is looking pretty good. I can see that this corner right here, that's like a weird corner. Let's bring it in just a little bit. It's not essential that it be perfect because there's a lot of weird things that go on in, like, you know, real geometry. You can still see like a weird line in there, which I'd like to obscure at least a little bit more if I can. That's a little better. It's a little harder to see. All right, let's think about this. We're getting really close. This dotted line over here is the edge of the entire map. And honestly, like, when it comes down to it, I really have no idea how much of this, how much of this we'll actually be able to see, how much we'll actually end up building on. Probably not a lot of it. I think a lot of it's just kind of for show, you know, but it is definitely the case that, like, some of this stuff informs things that we will be building, right? You know, so the coastlines over here might influence, you know, the fact that this island exists. You know, it could influence what the rest of this area looks like. Who knows? You know, what the mainland looks like. Maybe, you know, it's protected from some of the harsher ocean currents by this island. Who knows? Something like that. Could be kind of neat. I don't know. I'm honestly probably putting a lot more thought into this than I really need to. If I were a smart person, I would probably just get the basic shape and just go with it and just say, okay, good. Good is good enough. But you guys know me. I never do anything small. It's always go big or go home. And I don't often go home. I don't know. I like to think it makes me an interesting person, but honestly, it probably just makes me an obsessive person. Guess it depends if people like that kind of stuff. Who knows? I think there is something to be said for, like, that crazy dude who just, like, you know, who's been working on the same Minecraft project for 10 years. You know, there's like some respect there where people are like, wow, that dude is insane, but his dedication to what he's working on is impressive. That's where I aim to be. I want to be the guy that everyone's like, wow, that guy is certifiably a little bit bonkers, but does cool Minecraft stuff, right? It's kind of that's the dream. All right. Fix some of this stuff a little bit. And these weird, you know, like loopy patterns, they actually look really cool in game. But they're underwater, so it's hard to see. At some point, we'll have to go in and I'll show you some of this, and we can take a look at it because it's kind of fascinating stuff. Let's drag this inwards. I like to have these little bay areas a little bit deeper, because I just feel like it does. I don't know. I like deep bays. I think they look nice. I think this needs like a little island though. Oops, that's the wrong direction. Let's see if we can add like. We'll add maybe a little bit more over here. I'll kind of soften these edges a little bit. Maybe bring this a little bit deeper right in here. Nice. I think that's gonna look cool. We're gonna have some really, really steep cliffs here on the edge. Don't worry about that. We all know you're certified bonkers. It's true. It's true. Gonna have to get a business card that I can keep my wallet. It just says certified bonkers. It's gonna be great. I used to when I was in high school, I got like a thing in the mail where there was some company that was like advertising their business card service, right? And so they had like this coupon that they put in this mailer that was like, you know, free, your first 100 business cards are free or something like that. And they sent it to our house, presumably from my parents, I would guess. But I found it, and my parents were like, we're not going to do anything with it. If you want to get some business cards for free, like, have fun with it. I was like, cool. And so, you know, being a teenager and everything, I actually got business cards made that said Evan Lindquist, professional badass, and I carried those around in my wallet for like 4 or 5 years. Just and it was just, I don't know. I just like, I'd hand them out randomly to people. Just, we'd it wasn't even like I don't know. It wasn't really like, a lot of the time it feels like, if I did that, it'd be because like I was trying to like impress girls or something like that. But honestly, I just liked having business cards, and I'd give them out to random people, while I was out and about. It's a lot of fun. Oh, they also said part-time time traveler on them. It was professional badass, part-time time traveler. I always got a kick out of that. I always thought, man, one day someone's gonna get one of these, and they're gonna legitimately wonder, like, maybe this is like an actual time traveler or something. I don't know. If someone handed me a business card that said time traveler on it, I'd definitely give it some thought. I'll catch you later, Finn. Good having you. Are you gonna be at D&D today? I don't know if you're already gone, but I'll catch up with you later. Okay, cool. Awesome. I will see you then, my friend. Let's actually raise this up a little bit. I feel like we could have like almost like a sandbar kind of thing that connects those two right there. Might be kind of nice. Let's see. Smooth this out a little bit. I feel like this is cool because we've got kind of almost like a protected reef thing going on. So like this area is low, but this area up here is high. We can actually put like, we could put like a few like little barrier islands out here. Nothing big, just a couple little. That's a little bit. Let's see. Let's not do it on water, just so we can make these a little bit smaller. Yeah, I like that. That's gonna be cool. Then we say only on water. We lower a little bit of this down, just to get some nice reefs in there. I think that'll be pretty cool. Use this just to glue some of the islands together a little bit. Get a good shape there. All right. Let's bring this part in. This just needs to, I think, just in general, just kind of come down in height levels a little bit, so we can get this bay to be a little bit lower. Not that low. It doesn't need to be too crazy. Just a little bit. That gives us an opportunity to make this a little bit lower here. This a little bit lower here. Smooth it out. Alright, cool. I'm really excited about this. I think this little archipelago is going to look nice. Not really an archipelago, because usually those are farther out at sea. I also like to take these little islands sometimes. Like this one's, and it's auto-saving. But these little itty-bitty islands, like if you count, you can count the blocks, like, looking at it. It's really small. It's like 10 blocks total. That's a really small island. Not really good for anything, right? And it doesn't really add much. So I like to take these when it's done auto-saving. I'll go through and we'll grow it. We'll make it a little bit bigger. Hopefully we'll make it into something that's big enough that maybe we can do something with it. I don't know. Excuse me. Let's see here. The auto-saving process does take a really, really long time. And I think part of it's the inefficiency of Worldpainter, and part of it's just that this is a really stupid big map. So get rid of the only on water part, and we'll pick kind of oh, this one's got an interesting shape. break it up a little bit. There we go. And we can smooth it out a little bit. And maybe a little bit too much smoothing. There we go. That seems good. Now it's at least a little bit bigger. You know, it's like 50 square blocks instead of 10. I don't know how much difference that really makes, but makes me feel better about it. And that's got to be worth something at some point, right? Oops, wrong direction. Let's lower all this. I think we'll probably bring this part down. And we also have to remember, like on some level, right? If we put the annotations back, there we go. So all this gray stuff, these are mountains. This is a mountain range, and this is the edge of a continental plate. So on some level, right, like we do want to keep in mind that like there is going to be a general shape to this that it is longer. That there's more height along the lateral spine of this than, you know, other parts of it. Don't know how much sense that really makes, but I'm just gonna turn these back off. But I feel like it does make a difference to think about stuff like that. I feel like things just end up looking more realistic when you think about stuff like that. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe not. We'll put another little island up here. Yeah. We'll rotate a little bit. Make the brush a little bit smaller. Oh. I think we've got... Sorry, a lot of that stuff will get filled in. Let's see. Gonna end up being kind of a banana-shaped island. I'm okay with that, though. Bananas are cool. And we'll go through and smooth it out a little bit. It's a lot of back and forth, right? You smooth it out a little bit, then you rough it up, then you smooth it out and rough it up. It's an iterative process. I think having that out there will be nice. Alright, let's see. This coastline I feel like should be fairly steep right here. Kind of like that this, I'd like these to be like, almost like fjords. Not quite like fjords, but a little bit. So this very steep little fingers that stick out into the ocean. I think that might look kind of nice. Smooth out a little bit this. Let's see, this coastline is just that weird edge on this peninsula. So we'll work on that a little bit. And then, after we're finished with the edge of this, I figure maybe we'll load up part of this island in-game. We can go take a look at it. Because that's also an important part of this, right? One thing just to draw this all out and be like, oh yeah, looks good. But it's another thing entirely, you know, to actually go in and look at what you've created in-game. I feel like it does a lot to tell you about you know, have you done a good job? Does it look the way you thought it was gonna look? All that kind of stuff. Because there are definitely parts where, you know, I look at it in Worldpainter here and I'm like, oh yeah, that looks cool. And then I get into game, I'm like, wow, that's not what I expected it to look like. Get some more of these little itty bitty dot islands. These are literally like 1 pixel islands. I need to make these a little bit bigger. Yeah, it's a little better. There we go. Got them connected kind of by some shallow water, kind of like that. Let's smooth this out a little bit. I think that's pretty good. And then this, you know, we'll lower this a little bit. I think for the most part, this part is actually, this whole little bay area right here is going to be fairly flat, I think. We're lowered a little bit here in the middle, but I think for the most part, I want this to be a very shallow protected bay. We'll have a nice sand contour in here, where it'll come right up to the edge of this. Lots really nice, pretty white sand beach. That'll look very nice. Let's see. What about this? This one doesn't really have too much going on. We'll lower this a little bit on the outside. Not quite that much. Bring this in a little bit. There we go. And what to do in here with these weird little islands? I think we'll probably adopt kind of the same approach. We'll lower this area a little bit, bringing some of this in just a wee bit. But ultimately, I think this will remain relatively shallow. This one does, by nature, have to be a little bit deeper than the other one, just because I don't want all of these islands to be connected by like sandbars or anything. That would be a little bit weird. So these are going to have some pretty steep edges, but I think overall this general bay shape should be pretty smooth. These are a little bit lower than I anticipated. Let's bring some of this up a little bit. I guess that's nice. I don't hate it. A few extra islands in there. We'll have to come through and repaint this at some point. Let's see. It's got a little more coastline left to do. This is where this starts cutting into this weird spot. So we're going to cut into this, and then eventually we'll just kind of fill the middle. Let's get rid of the middle entirely. Let's see. I think we're good to curve this around the edge of the coastline. Kind of a little bit further out, though. I think this whole side of the island would be a little bit more protected. Make some natural-ish looking curves. Pardon me. Need to hydrate. Let's see. We're auto-saving again. Yeah. This is, I don't know. This is the process, I guess. I don't know if this is the process that everyone does when it comes to Worldpainter, because honestly, I haven't seen a lot of other people do Worldpainter, and I'm pretty new to it, but this is how I've been going about it. It's, for the most part, it's been working, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of fun. I do enjoy it. Something a little bit different. And these autosaves take forever. Let's see. Trying to think. I think maybe the part that we'll take a look at in game will be the part with those that little island chain. I think that would be kind of cool to get an idea of what that actually looks like. Oh, I can see where we're connecting up. Nice. Okay, cool. So we can ignore everything on the right side of this, because that's all gonna eventually kind of go. Connect this up. I think we'll kind of do that. And then we'll smooth it out. So what we've done here is we've lowered everything on the outside edge of this island, but kept it fairly shallow between the island and the mainland. Hopefully that gives us some cool shallow areas to do stuff with. Do need to, I think, raise this up just a tiny bit. There we go. That's a little bit better. We can bring this part in just to lower down this bay. Okay. I do like to try and include some weird stuff in here. Things that don't necessarily make a lot of sense from like a geographical perspective, like, you know, the kind of stuff where like your earth science teacher would be like, excuse me, that's not the way that works. Just because, you know, I mean, on some level it is a fantasy world, and I think some of that stuff gives us an excuse to do cool things. You know me, I'm always down to do cool things. Alright, let's lower this a little bit. That's like a really steep edge there. Give that one little bop, and we'll smooth all this out. Looking good. Looking very good. This area right here is just going to be super cool. It's going to be super shallow. Probably like a tidal island. Like Mont Saint Michel, where when it's low tide, you can walk out to the island. Excuse me. And when it's high tide, you can't. Right, the water level's too high. Probably something like that. At least that's how I'm envisioning. I don't know if it actually works that way, but I think that's it. I think we've kind of done the entire edge of this island. So let's go over here. We'll take a look at this little chain of islands, maybe. And first, we need to save though, because I don't want to crash Worldpainter and not be able to and lose all of this progress we've made. The autosaves are like, oh, they're kind of 50-50 with Worldpainter. Sometimes they work out really well. Sometimes they do not work out very well. So it's always kind of a coin flip. Regular saves do take a little bit of time, though. Yeah, I'll take a look at some of this. It's going to be very flat. I'll be, like, upfront with you guys about it. It's not going to be the most beautiful thing. But hopefully it'll look kind of nice. Maybe we'll do a little bit of work on the edges of these islands and stuff. Do some cool stuff. I think the next step is probably I'll probably take a little bit of a break from the oceans, just because all that's left with the oceans, I think, right now is just to I think I have one more island I need to shape, and then just like the abyssal plains and everything, which I'm not overly concerned about that kind of stuff. So let's export to a map. We're gonna call this, and at some point I need to spell island chain. We are not going to do all of those tiles. We'll select none, and then we are going to find our big island, zoom in, and we'll do kind of like maybe like this. That looks good, right? Alright, cool. So spawn is way over there. We need to move spawn. But we'll move it onto one of these islands. That'll be okay. Where the heck did our... Did we lose it somewhere? Okay, there it is. Oh man, this place is so big it's hard to... Nope, that's the mainland. There's our island. Okay. So let's say okay. It's 88 tiles. Creative, peaceful. Okay. And then we just need to... Sorry guys. I forgot to set the spawn though. It's an important step. Set spawn. Oh, I see. We'll set spawn right there. Okay. Also put this in our actual... Oh, actually, no, I will keep it here and then we'll move it over. Let's give this a second to think about all this. And we'll hop in and take a look. See how it looks in game. I'm expecting it to look significantly worse than I'm anticipating. But that's okay. Alright, let me open up this... Let's get this stuff opened up, get it moved over, backups, .minecraft saves. This one is called Island Chain. Alright, cool. So I'm going to switch over. Here, single player Island Chain. It's going to load it up, give it some thought, think about how to make it into Minecraft. Let's take a look. So right now, let's go back to the Worldpainter just for a second. So right now we are right here, this little red cross right here. So we're right here in the kind of the middle of this island. So we're gonna need to fly kind of north to see these little islands, these little sandy ones. And we can also fly backwards to look at the coastline and everything, get an idea of what that looks like. Okay, back to Minecraft. So, which direction am I facing? Is this south? This is east. North is that way. South is that way. So this is the mainland over here. Honestly, the edge of this doesn't look too bad. We've definitely got some weirdness going on with these like 2 or 3 block high edges of this island. We can smooth that out. That's not a big problem. Let's take a look at how deep this little trench is. Honestly, not too bad. It goes down a little bit there. We're looking for this connection point to be rather shallow though. And I do like that. I like that. That's almost walkable. This part right here is a little weird. We can smooth that out. But once we connect it up and everything, I mean, that's going to be great. This far edge of this island is really... That's really bad. We're going to have to fix that. Yeah, that's not nice. We'll have to mess around with that a little bit. So there's the mainland back there. Hey, what's up, Ruben? Let's take a look at these islands over here. Alright, so I like this. I like that this is very shallow. Maybe it needs to be a little bit deeper than that. I don't know. It's not actually walkable, though. Like, that's still above head height and everything. But it's not so bad. I think it's okay. These islands are definitely... Some of them are pretty bad. I don't have to mess with them. I think maybe making them fewer and then bigger is kind of the key there. Maybe a little bit taller too. But I do like them. I like little sandbar islands. Some of these shapes are pretty wild too. Not in a bad way. I do like that we have this long strip of, this is the edge of the file, that's why it's so steep, but we do have this long strip of like, where you can see the sand under the water and everything. And over here it gets very, very steep and goes down quite a ways. Before we come back up, so that's kind of cool. We got like a deep bay. Lots of neat things we could build there. Take a look around here. I like the size of these islands. These islands are actually much better sized. Some weird noise going on the surface, but it's fixable. Sand layers are very smooth. Drop-off's not bad either. You see it goes to about there and then it drops off pretty heavily down here. Comes back up with the island. So this stuff is bad. We can fix that. Mainland looks pretty good. Honestly, the sand layers down below, pretty good for the most part. This terrain generation it's good. There's clumps of grass and stuff. We didn't really do that on purpose. It just kind of happens that way. It's something we can mess around with a little bit. A little bit of weirdness there. But you know, like I said, right, the ultimate goal with a lot of this is really just to make it, just to get a general idea, right? Something where we can come in with, you know, World Edit or whatever later on and, you know, do exactly what we want with this world, right? Turn it into what we want it to be. And I think that we've achieved that. Definitely going to smooth out these layers a little bit because, like, this irks me. I don't like that at all. That's really, really gross. I think I know why it's doing that, but it also makes me wonder, like, can we see the little islands from the big island? Let's see. Come out to here. We can just barely see them, and if we put, like, palm trees on them or something, we'd be able to see them fairly well. It's quite a distance though. It's like this cod hanging out down there. It's pretty far. What about over here? Can we see the mainland across the way? We can, but this is a pretty good sized bay. Like, that's a significant distance. It would take a while to cross that space. It's definitely far enough that, like, this little tidal land bridge area honestly makes a lot of sense. You know, it's definitely one of these things where it's like, oh man, we gotta, you know, this would be a good place for people to build, like, maybe not a bridge, but like a raised platform kind of area with like kind of like an extended dock goes out to the island or something like that, or maybe have some sort of small boat ride. I don't know. It's fun though. It's fun looking at this stuff and thinking about, you know, what you would build on it if you had time and everything. But overall, pretty good. Just need to come through and fix a few little things, because there's still a little bit of wackiness to this. There's like a very straight line right here that didn't get smoothed out, so we'll have to smooth that out. But yeah, this is kind of how Worldpainter works. You know, there's a lot of it that's just you build it in game, you look at it, or you build it in Worldpainter, you look at it in game, you decide what you do and don't like about it, go back into Worldpainter, change stuff, and then go back into game, look at it again, decide whether it's any better. Just rinse and repeat, basically forever. Alright, cool. Let's go back to Worldpainter. Save and quit to the title. Alright, so a few things I noticed here. Okay, yeah, so we still have this you can see we have this weird straight line. That's what's causing that to be weird. We can fix that pretty easily. I think we just forgot to. I do also think that it would be a good idea to try and connect up some of this stuff a little bit better. I think I want this area right here to be just a tiny bit shallower. So we'll probably take a very soft brush, lower the intensity a lot. We'll just kind of raise this a little bit. We actually want to remain, we want to be at or below 61, because we don't want this to, actually come above the water line. Just want to, just kind of make this a little bit taller. And lower this a little bit too. There we go. Raise some of this up a little bit. This is gonna need to be smooth. There we go. That's a little better. Also going to go ahead and I think raise up some of this, just because I think these little islands, I mean, this one's literally 2 blocks down here, right? So I don't know how tall those are getting, but do a little bit of smoothing. Hit this with the smooth brush a little bit. This is going to help with that transition into the water. And I think this needs to be a little bit less noisy anyway, to be honest. Yeah. Gonna fix some of this a little bit. You can see these areas right here are like really steep. So we'll see if we can smooth that out just a little bit. I don't know how much good this is actually doing, but definitely is smoothing things out a little bit, so that's good. And you can see it's a fiddly process. We fiddle with it. This part is just so steep. Maybe we need to kind of raise this up a little bit. Bring this out. I think that might help a little bit if we just raise some of this. Just by little bits. Okay, I think that looks pretty nice. Catch you later, Ruben. I don't know if you're already gone, but good having you. Alright, let's fix some of the noise around here. I don't think we need these little 1-dot islands. Those are kind of weird. Don't really like them. I do think that we can kind of shape these islands to be a little bit... Actually, maybe smooth brush is really the best way to do this. Just kind of smooth this whole area out a little bit. This will get rid of the little tiny islands. Smooth some of these shapes out. Let's see, because I don't feel like we need the really little ones. Pretty sure it's okay just to have a few of the bigger ones. Smooth, smooth, smooth. It's kind of a tropical island. Oh, nice. Let's see. All right. Let's do it only on water. Try and give this thing a little bit more of a beach. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Let's take a look at it one more time in game. So give me a second to save this, then I'll export it. We'll take a look at it. Then I think I'm gonna wrap things up for today. Kind of a slow day, no survival. I may do some streaming in Astroland later today. It's gonna depend on if I have time. My weekends as of late have become rather busy. Still doing a lot of house hunting and stuff right now, so we will see. But maybe. It's all good, no worries. Honestly, I'm just happy that you stopped by. Are you Lego Man? Lego Man looks like the only one who's on the server right now. Just double checking. Yeah, honestly, if I were like a cool streamer, I would I would stream longer than 2 hours, but that is not me. Let's call this Beach Fest 2. I don't know, this island chain. Can't spell. Okay. 88 tiles. Okay. Yes, only 88 tiles, that's fine. Export. Pretty fast, honestly. Okay, cool. Let's move those over. Backups. And we're also going to open the screenshots folder so that I can get to .minecraft saves. This is Island Chain 2. Doesn't look like it. There we go. Island Chain 2. Let's switch over to the Minecraft streamer. Island Chain 2. Let's take a look. It does load up really fast, which is nice. The time at noon. Alright, so this is the same map, same thing. We're just, yeah, the coastline's still a little bit rough. Well, it's something we'll have to work with. Overall, not terrible, though. Let's take a look at, some of the other stuff that we had some issues with. So this is that little bridge. The hard line is gone. I like that. Got some weird blocks there, but that's easy to fix. Still walkable. It's got a good slope to it. This is much improved. So that's all stuff we can edit with Worldpainter or World Edit and stuff in game. Let's fly out here to the islands. Actually, we'll start out over here from the mainland and follow the island chain just to make sure everything is shipshape. So starting out over here. This part's still good. Still got some weird little random holes. Easily fixed though. These are much better. They're larger and they are bigger. They're bigger and they're not as weird shaped. A little more. Couple of blocks here and there. I don't know why I'm even bothering to break them because it's like some weird square stuff, right? But this is pretty easily fixable. You know, takes like a couple of seconds to come through and do that. Make it a whole lot better. What is that? Oh, those are squids. Yeah, I mean, I could easily see building like some palm trees and stuff on these. Maybe some little beach huts. Um, this be a fun place to hang out, to be honest. Maybe who knows? Maybe the community server eventually I'll make a custom map for that. That would be kind of fun. I like the default Minecraft stuff, but I mean, how cool would it be to be able to build on islands like this, right? I think that would be a lot of fun. So this all looks pretty good. That one's like really noisy. Oh, that's really gross. I don't like that at all. I don't know how that happened, but it's something we can... It's fixable, though. That's the main point, is that it is fixable. Yeah, guys, that's a little bit about Worldpainter, and how I've been using it. I don't know. It's a cool program. I'll probably do a few more of these little Worldpainter streams. Partially because I think it's a good utility program to learn how to use. I feel like there's not enough tutorials on how to use it, and also just because honestly, this Worldpainter file that I'm working on right now is really big, and it's something that I really need to get done. Doing it on stream is kind of a two birds one stone kind of deal. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up there. I gotta go run some D&D and whatnot. But I will catch you guys around. Thanks for coming by and watching and saying hello. I appreciate it, even if it's just a little, even if it's just running in the background. Opportunity to listen to some lo-fi and listen to me chatter about all the Minecraft things that I enjoy doing and all that stuff. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great day and a great it's a 3-day weekend, so have a great 3-day weekend. I'll see you sometime. Most of you. We'll do some more streams maybe this weekend, and I'll catch you guys around. All right. See you later. Bye-bye.